Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakodash, and honors to the apostles and elders very Muslim well. And salutations to the hopeful elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, and pushing the name in truth and in sincerity. Because there is no other name under heaven which must be saved. According to Acts, the 4th chapter, the 12th verse. And you have just the flavor of the week is IUIC. You have IUIC, Nate, in particular, is basically not pushing the name of the Lord, and he's also teaching that the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are the same person, man. Which that doesn't make any sense, because if you don't give the name, then you're not giving your congregation salvation, and that's a grave error that Nate is making on his part, man. By trying to X out the Most High, man. And trying to say that Yahweh Shai is the Father. That's Roman Catholic doctrine. Also this week you have the doctrine that the RFID chip is sin, which is also being pushed by IUIC. So IUIC is coming out with all types of bugged out doctrine, man, and flipping things around. Is it sin or is it not sin? But meanwhile, you have all the other nations on the world stage that are backing their economies with digital currencies, man. And they are phasing out the dollar slowly but surely. BRICS has something now that they have their own payment system called BRICS Pay, man, which I think now it's like 168 countries, that are gearing up to use that payment system to trade back and forth. So you have these things, and that's called prophecy, man. That's actually happening in today's society. And you got these guys in IUIC and in Sakari and ISUPK that want to follow you around, man. And I just want to start with Revelation the 13th chapter really quick, just to go into the mark, man, the Charagma, because that is, if you can't see that's where the world is headed, then I don't know what to say to you, man. Either you sincerely can't see it or you sold out, man. And for a lot of you, it's actually coming out to be the latter, man, which is being sold out. Because there's no way you can't see it, man. The camera's a little rocky. It's lucky. Yeah, there's no way you cannot see that the Charagma is the the chip, man. On top of that, you have updated disease serums, that are being created by Pfizer and SC Johnson, man. They've just been told to have the go ahead to make updated medicine for the next strain of the 19, man. And now you have Mpox rolling around, which is nothing going to be another quaalude to the Charagma, man. And it's going to be the same thing over and over again when it comes to being ostracized from society if you don't get the if you don't get that medicine, But according to these other Israelite guys, they're making light of this whole situation. In this whole situation, this is a dire situation that the world is going to be engulfed in. It's Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. It says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast." Now, what is the image of the beast? The image of the beast is the New World Order, man. Mark of the beast is New World Order, the way of the world, man, which is being shaped and after the likeness of Esau, man. Now you got these guys too that'll say that the Cesare Borgia is the image. No, that's not the image of the beast, man. That's part of the image. That's part of the mini philosophy that's gonna come with this world, man. And this world is going to engulf in a one world religion soon, man. It says that the image of the beast should both speak, and how is it speaking? Because when you cause an image to speak or a likeness of someone to speak, meaning it's manifested in reality, if it's manifested in reality, meaning you can see this image all over the planet, man. You know, this way of life is going to be everywhere, especially when they you know, implement on a mass scale these payment systems, you know. And this is how they're going to prelude into the Quran, you know. It says, Slaki, it says that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, you know. So when you don't worship that image, you know, you don't want to take on this way of life, this society, you know, satanic society, you're going to be destroyed, man. You're going to be killed, you know. Also, you're going to be ostracized from society. And that's one of the things that's coming up again. You know, there might be another worldwide disease, man. You know, I don't want to say the P word, you know, but there might be another worldwide disease, man. And it seems like they're pushing this Mpox, you know, and they're pushing another deadly strain of the 19, man, you know. And somehow I believe that these two things are going to mix together, or they're going to use them both, man, you know, to take out more of society like they did in 2020, you know, because the dollar and the global economy is sinking. It's at the bottom. I'm sorry, it's at the worst level possible since the beginning of this year at this moment, man, you know. And right after that happened in 2019, guess what happened, you know, in 2020, you know, the 19 came, you know, and tanked the world's economies, you know. So I think this is what's going to happen up the pipeline again, you know. It says, and he had, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, you know. So from the greatest to the least, man, you know, from the so-called president of society to, you know, the homeless man sleeping on the street, man, to the man that's in prison, that's locked up and incarcerated, to men that have their freedom to walk around, so to speak. You know, everybody's going to be caused to receive this mark, you know. It says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, you know. And how do you force a whole society to do something, man? You know, you take away what's essential for life, you know, which people have to socialize, you know. If you take that away, people will do anything to be able to go out in society, you know. You know, you take away their food supplies, you know, or you take away their ways of trading money, you know, their ways of making money, you know. And if they digitize it, which there's a report on Forbes, is that I believe 89% of the world's currency is already digital, you know, and the 10% is liquid cash flow, you know. So when you look at that, the world is almost already gone digital, man, you know, except you can still access cash, you know. But when they stop this access to cash, like they did during 2020 with you know, in America with the coin shortage, you know, when you couldn't access cash, you couldn't really use ATMs because nobody wanted to give change, you know. And they used that transition to make a lot of most businesses digital, man, and cashless, you know. And you already get, when you get your paycheck, what's deposited is digital cash. It's not real cash. You don't get a shipment of cash, you know, poured into your account, you know, or given to you. You know, there aren't any paper checks anymore, so you can't go cash a check, you know. So these things are gradually becoming a staple of society, man. You know, it's called gradualism. And that's exactly what Esau and these elites of the world are doing, man, you know. They're gradually changing things, little by little, man. Little by little, they're turning up that dial on society, man. You know, soon you won't be able to actually make any money if you don't want it to be digital, you know. For example, you know, they don't, like I said earlier, you know, you don't get your paycheck, you know, you get it direct deposited, you know. They switched that to all the businesses about 15 years ago, man, you know, or you have to get it on a pay card, you know. That's exactly what's going to happen with this digital currency, you know. And it's going to be a lot easier for them to distribute this universal basic income, you know. Slack it. It says, free in bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that mark is the charagma, man. You know, that chip, you know. Right now, Elon Musk's Neuralink has already implanted another test subject, man. Test subject number 2, with the next version of the chip, man. You know, and you have about 100 other companies around the world that's competing in this how do you say, this microchip race, man. You know, so it's coming. It's just a matter of when. You know, it's already here, but it's going to be implemented on a mass scale, man. Soon you're going to get your own, have to get your own brand of the Karagma, man. You know, this one's from Samsung, this one's from Apple. You know, this one's from Hisense, this one's from Huawei. You know, this one's from RCA, and this one's from, you know, LG. You know, that's exactly what's about to happen to the rest of the world, man. You know, you got these guys making fun of the making fun of the microchip, man. You know, now you got guys saying it's sin. Now having a microchip or having the mark of the beast is a sin, you know, but it's not sin in its entirety, man. You know, because if it was, that means the whole world would have the mark of the beast. You know, it says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. See, this is where it starts to make sense, man. Nobody shall buy or sell save he that had the mark. You know, and that means that you need this thing in order to go out in society and to barter and to trade currency. You know, you can't trade currency or buy things or sell things with sin. You know, because sin isn't something that's tangible. You know, sin isn't something that you can pull out of your wallet and swipe a card or pass to the next person for payment. Come on, man. It's clear that this is talking about a cashless or a cash system here. You know, I was reading earlier this morning that Bitcoin, they're going to spike Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin up by 70%. You know, so they project that when the American economy crashes, or when the dollar finally crashes, that Bitcoin is going to be the new legal tender. You know, that the price is going to go way above $70,000 per coin. You know, and it's going to be a new form of legal tender, man. You already have Bitcoin ATM machines all over the place. You know, you have businesses that take Bitcoin in different digital currencies, man. You know, you have what I believe 168 other nations that are on board with the BRICS payment system, man, which is going to be a digital currency. You know, so how is the mark of the beast sin? You know, when it's something that's going to be clearly tangible. You know, something that's going to allow you to trade. And if you don't have the mark, you won't be able to do so. You know, if the mark of the beast was sin, that means that everybody would have it, and there would be no reason for this warning. You know, because everyone is born in sin. That doesn't make any sense. It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. You know, which, you know, is 666, man. You know, now when you go back into Leviticus chapter 19, now when you take the the mark of the, matter of fact, I'll go into Exodus 20 first, because when you go back into Revelation 13th chapter, you know, when you start at the 15th verse, it talks about worshiping the image of the beast, man. You know, now if you worship the image of the beast, that is a sin, because we are only to worship the Lord thy power, man. This Exodus 20th chapter verse 1, it says, and the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. You know, so that you shall not have another God before the Most High, man. You know, that's number one. So worshiping the image of the beast is a sin. You know, it says, thou shalt not make into any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. It says, thou shalt not bow down thyself to serve them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy power, make jealous power. You know, so you're not supposed to even bow down to serve them. You know, so when you decide to worship this image and you decide to get the mark of the beast, you know, you decide to get the Karagma, MOTB. You know, I gotta start saying the mark of, you know, the MOTB. You know, don't want this page to be censored. But when you decide to get the MOTB, you know, the stab, you are worshiping another god, which that god is a society, man, which is in the likeness and the image of Esau. You know, it says, For I am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. You know, so so when you actually perform this action, you're going to be committing iniquity, man. You know, because it's going to be sin on top of sin. Not only you worship in this place, but then you're going to get this mark that's going to commemorate. You know, because you have to have an action behind it. You know, you're gonna you're gonna get this this device. You know, that's going to put a stamp on it. You know, when you go into the word mark and you go into the word charagma, it means to be an incision. You know, you go furthermore, it's a branding, man. Just like branding a horse. You know, a stake, a palisade. You know, going into Leviticus, the 19th chapter. And the 28th verse, it says, "Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord." You know, so you're not supposed to print any marks upon you, or get any cuttings in your flesh. And what is the charagma, man? You know, what is going to happen? How are they going to implant that device in you? You know, just look at Neuralink. They have to cut into your flesh to implant it, man. You know, they have to cut into your flesh to implant it. And that's what's going to happen to all of society, man. You know, except for the elect. You know. So that is the sin. That is the charagma, man. The MOTB. You know, that does not mean that it is sin as a whole. It is a sin for this to happen. You know. For example, this is Revelation chapter 14. Matter of fact, I'm gonna skip 14. I'm gonna go to 16 really quick. This is Revelation chapter 16 and verse 2. I'm going to start at 1. It says, "And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, Go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image." You know, so this is the judgment, or part of the judgment for worshiping the image and having that device, which is the charagma, implanted into your flesh, man. Whether it be your head or whether it be your head or whether it be your your hands, man. You know. So that sore and that sore comes with what? That sore comes with cancer, all types of radioactive bacterial diseases. You know, because you're implanting something that's totally foreign to your bodily makeup, man. You know, and when you do those things, you know, when you put those things in your body starts to reject it. You know, our bodies are more intelligent than what Esau lets on, man. You know, he calls it biohacking. You know, hacking your body chemistry, or by hacking your biology. But how can you hack something that's how can you hack something that's impossible to hack, man? You know, your brain is the most advanced computer in the universe. You know, so Esau thinking that he can make your body better and penetrate your body with something that's foreign and that it won't get rejected is asinine, man. You know, it doesn't make any sense. And that's why the Lord is going to put these sores upon these people, man. You know, upon the world, really, because the world is going to go after the image of the beast, man. You know, the whole world is going to wander after, you know, because they're going to be made to, because they're not going to have, they're going to think that they're not going to have a choice, you know, because they're going to be presented with this thing, you know, and if they don't, you know, adhere, then they're going to be outside of society, on top of, you know, when it goes to the extreme of being killed, you know. So those sores come in the forms of all types of cancers, man. You have to remember, these are radio waves and microwave technology, you know, that's being implanted in your skin. They already have studies on wearing wireless headphones and what's the you know, the difference between, not the difference, but the correlation to brain damage and things of that nature, man. You know, from just wearing wireless headphones or just holding your phone to your ear, you know. It says, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. You know, and that's the point. You know, because worshiping the image, you know, is a sin. You know, Getting the mark of the beast is a sin, you know, because you're actually telling the Most High that another God owns you, man. You know, when it's the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that owns you. So you think the Lord is just gonna let that slide and take that line down? No, there's a judgment for these things, man. You know, this is Revelation chapter 14. Verse 9, it says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High." You know, so if you get this mark in your head or in your hands, you know, you're going to be destroyed, man. You know, so think about the guy who got the first ever Neuralink transplant. That guy's done, man. You know, that guy's going to be destroyed. And they dress it up, you know, they dress it up like it's convenient. You know, they dress it up like it's going to heal you. It's going to help you walk again. It's going to help you, you know, increase your brain function. You know, now they're trying to create contraptions that go with the Neuralink implant to, you know, to make the blind see again, man. You know, which is nothing but radar probably. You know, saying, or they're going to use some type of sonar, you know, implant. So these things are happening at a rapid pace. And for you guys who seemingly don't understand these things, you guys are going to be put to death right along with your congregations, man, because you caused your congregation to worship another god, man. You know, basically. So you have a lot of blood on your hands, you know. You know, Nate the Great, you know, you have a lot of blood on your hands, man. You know, hell, even Sakari and ISUPK, you dudes have a lot of blood on your hands, man. You know, you guys have all these followers, and yet you don't want to teach the correct doctrine, man, and be hypocrites. You know, the Lord sees exactly what's going on. It says, "The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb." You know, so that you know, Yahushua, that name that you don't want to acknowledge, Nate, you know, in IUIC, you know, in ISUPK, you're going to be tortured in the presence of that man. You know, you're going to be tortured in the presence of that man. You know, and it's going to please him to see it so, because you rejected him and you decided to worship another god, man. You know, and you caused you caused Israel, more Israelites to worship, you know, another god. So all that blood is going to fall in your hands, man. Because as being a prophet or being a seer, you're supposed to see these things and you're supposed to warn against them. You know, you're supposed to be leading Israel in the correct direction. You know, they call Nate the leader of Israel or whatever. You can't lead Israel. Well, I guess you can lead them astray, you know, but you're not leading them the correct way, man. You know, your breakdowns are all over the place. You changing your breakdowns every 4 to 6 months. You know, every year there's different things. You know, now you could say that these things are revelations, you know, or we thought this was the breakdown, but this is really the breakdown. But every 4 to 6 months, you have to break these scriptures down a different way, you know. And every time you do it, it gets more and more egregious. It gets more and more a confusion, man. You know. You know, this is, and Nate is a Nate. These dudes are sly, man. You know, these dudes are sly. They're like scriptures say, you know, like prophets are like the foxes in the desert. You know. Matter of fact, this is Ezekiel 13:1. It says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy, and say thou unto them that prophesy to their own hearts. Hear ye the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord power, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing." You know? And that's exactly what's happening. These dudes, they haven't seen anything, man. You know? They follow their own spirit. They don't follow the spirit of Yahweh. Because if they did, they would be teaching the name of the Lord, man. You know? They would be teaching Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shah? Yahweh meaning the Father, you know, he exists, or he is to be, you know, and Yahweh Shah meaning he is the deliverer, you know. They will be teaching these things, you know, but they don't wish for their congregation to be saved because they ultimately don't believe in salvation, you know, because if they did, they would believe in the names, man. Just going back to Acts really quick, because it all goes back to Acts. It's the main scripture, you know. This is the main scripture, and if you don't have this key, then you won't be able to unlock the door to salvation, and that's why they don't give it to you. You know, it's really very, very deceptive, man. It's wicked. You know, they're being devils, man. They, like scripture say, thou art thy father the devil, man, and his works that ye will do. You know, this is Acts 4:12. It says, neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. So if that's the only name that we have that's been given, you know, by the Lord, you know, to get us to salvation, why not teach that? You know, why not teach that? You know the name. Y'all know the name. You know, the lemur said it on a video, you know, the other day. You know, but instead he correlated it to the same name. He said if you call on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you're calling on the same person. That doesn't make any sense, man. You know, those are also two separate names. You know, it doesn't say Yahweh and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh. It says Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You know, that's two separate people, two separate names, two separate distinctions, two separate existences. You know, but these dudes, they're fooled, man. They prophesy out of their own minds. You know, this is what they want you to know. This is what they don't want you to know. And what they don't want you to know, you know, they're gonna bring heretical doctrine. You know, what they don't want you to know, they're going to contort it. You know, if I believe that's how you say, it's going to contort, man. You know, that's bullshit. You know, so if you want to hide these things from your congregation, then you have a lot to answer for. You know, it says, hear ye the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, power, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. You know, you haven't seen that the mark of the beast is sin, that the MOTB is sin, man. You know, you haven't seen that, but along the way, over the last 15 years, it's become more prevalent, more evident, more manifest that the MOTB is the chip, man. What are you talking about? Damn. You know, the chip, you know, it is the chip, man. You know, there's no way around it. You know, everything is leading to this. Everything. And it lines directly up with the scriptures, man. And if you don't want to teach that, then at this point, you're just being rebellious, man. You know, and now you're just being, you know, deceitful, you know. It says, O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts, you know. Now, when you look at the fox, you look at a fox, right? What is a fox? A fox is sly, you know. A fox is sneaky, you know. Foxes are also cowards, you know. Foxes are slick, you know. And that's exactly how these prophets, how these false prophets, they act, man. They act like foxes. You know, they'll give you the proper breakdown or something, and then, you know, when it comes to, you know, a breakdown that they don't want you to know, they'll slip some bullshit in there, man. Really slightly, you know. And then next time they break it down, they'll slide more bullshit in there. And then they'll break down the same scripture again and slide more bullshit in there until the breakdown becomes something totally different, man. You know? Means something they turn into something that it has no business being, man. You know? That's what they're doing. They're slowly adding, you know, are slowly adding to the breakdowns, man. And we know what the scriptures say in Revelation 18 about adding to the book, man. You know, and taking away. He says that it's your part of the book of life is going to be taken away, man. You know. So these dudes don't have any at the moment. These dudes have no chance at salvation whatsoever from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. You think he's going to let that slide? You know. It says, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. Ye have not gone into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. You know, so you're not defending Israel at all, man. You're not defending Israel. There's nothing that you're doing that's that's preparing Israel for, you know, that day, man. You know, and that day that you're supposed to be preparing them for is the day of evil, man. You know, Because as you watch all these things that's happening, you have Jacob's trouble on the horizon, man. With all of this, you know, who do you think is going to be stomped out when the society takes this transition to the digital currencies, man? You know, who do you think is going to get stomped out? Jake is, man. You know, and not only is 2/3 of our people behind, you know, and I'm speaking on the ones that don't know that they're Israelites, you know. But the ones that do understand that they're Israelites, they're even more behind, you know, because they could be having sound doctrine, you know, and actually being warned on how to conduct themselves when these things happen, but they're behind because they don't know that these things are happening, because these prophecies aren't being broken down the correct way, you know. It's hard to see somebody pointing at you with a gun, you know, right in your face, if you're being told, oh, that's not a gun, you know. In fact, let me go into 2nd Ezra, 16th chapter, really quick. 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 40. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 35. This is 2nd Ezra 16:35. It says, "Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the powers of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack." See, a lot of you niggas count slackness, man. I'm just gonna say it. You niggas count slackness. You don't think any of this is gonna happen, man. You know, you don't think the end of the world is on the horizon, man. You know, and it is on the horizon. It's gonna rise with the sun, man. You know, it's gonna rise with the sun. And you dudes think that nothing's gonna happen. That, you know, since, like scripture say, since the fathers fell asleep, right? You know, you dudes don't really understand what the fuck is happening. You know, it says, it says the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. You know, and what's the number one plague? The thermonuclear fire. You know, I don't hear anyone teach about that. You know, we don't hear IUIC teaching about the thermonuclear missiles. They might mention it. You know, they might mention it in a few videos here and there, but they don't harp on it, man. You know, when that's one of the main prophecies to come to pass. You know, which we're waiting on, which is World War III and the Charagma. You know, and you teach against the Charagma, so if the Charagma doesn't come, then World War III won't come. These things have to happen in order, man. You know, these things have to happen in order. And if you disrupt the order, hoping that it won't come, that, you know, then what you're doing is you're being a coward. You know, you dudes are cowards, man. You know, hopefully if I just ignore it, then it won't happen. You know, women do that, man. You know, it says, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb. You know, so just like a woman having a baby, man, birth pains. You know, you can't stop the baby. You can't stop that baby from coming, man. Just like you can't stop these prophecies from happening. You know, you can try to ignore all you want to. You know what I'm saying? You can try to ignore all you want to, but the fact of the matter is that, you know, the woman is still pregnant. You know, the woman is still pregnant, and that baby is going to be here no matter if you like it, understand it, believe it or not. You know, it says, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. You know, so all these things that are happening in the world that's leading up to the big shebang, you know, to when shit hits the fan, all these things are birth pains, you know, and they slack not a moment. They happen in direct succession from one another, man, one after the other, and it's becoming more and more quickly as time starts to get shorter, man. You know, as we get close to the end, things are happening way more quickly, man. You know, you know, you would have a financial crash once every 40 years. You know, now you're having these crashes that are happening closer and closer to each other. I think you had the .com bubble in 2000, but I think before that you had a crash in 90. I believe it was 93, if I'm not mistaken. You had a stock market crash in 93, I believe. You know, from then on, and then you had the dot-com bubble. That's what, 7 years, Then from that point, that was 2000, 2001, so to speak, Y2K, right? You know, and then from then on, you had 2008 financial crash with the Lehman Brothers, shorting those penny stocks in the housing market, you know, and then now you had what 2000 and then you had 2000 something. You had a small crash 2012, So that 8 year, 7 year gap from the 90s until the 2010s. Now it's a 4 year gap, you know. And then from 2012 to 2016, there was a small crash. In 2016 and 2020, you know, there was a huge financial crash. You know what I'm saying? Now it's 2024, and we've had global crashes, all in countries all over the world, man. You know, so what you're gonna start seeing this 4 years? This 4 years might start happening every two. You know, it might be happening every year. You know, and Slocky, I want to correct what I was saying earlier when I said about the Bitcoin and the American dollar being might be crashing this year. You know, they're going to propose a plan to pay off the $35 trillion debt, American debt. You know, which if they can't pay that off, then that's going to collapse the American economy, and America is going to go bankrupt, and that's going to push that's what's going to push the value of Bitcoin through the roof. You know, that's what's going to push the digital assets through the roof. You know, because everybody's going to start because this place is going to convert into a digital or cashless society at that point. You know, and that's what's going to make the cryptocurrency go through the roof, man. You know, and it's going to become more acceptable to have. You know, and that's another pain, man. You know, because if that debt's not settled, and now the government shuts down again because they have no money, which makes completely no sense. You know, then everything's gonna go to shit. And that's what's gonna come, the digital currencies, boom. And then what's gonna come after that? You know, more advanced versions of the Neuralink and the Charagma. You know, and then boom, what's gonna happen after that? You know, quickly it's gonna be World War III, man. And then Lord willing, we can be the fuck out of here. You know, but you have things that are happening in rapid succession. That's the point. You know, it says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. You know, and one of the main reasons for sorrow to come upon the world on every side is when there's lack of money. You know, when there's lack of money, there's lack of food being produced. When there's lack of food being produced, you get illnesses. You know, when you get illnesses and you don't have medicine being produced, you know, you get mass deaths. You know, you get you know, world diseases. You know, for example, like the Black Plague. You know, which they're saying that they believe the Black Plague or the Black Death or the bubonic plague was actually none other than pneumonia and monkeypox. You know, it was I believe they said it was a strand of pneumonia and monkeypox, right? You know, now what's an increased form, basically an increased form of pneumonia? You know, COVID. You know, that SARS virus is a respiratory disease. You know, so if they splice those diseases together, you're gonna get another bubonic plague on your hands. You know, or on our hands. You know, and then that's gonna be, the whole world's gonna be wiped out. You know, this is how they're going to it's how they're going to fulfill you know, their self prophecy of the George Guidestones. You know, with one of their commandments was to depopulate the earth down to 500 million people. They're going to use these diseases to do it, man. You know, it's only a matter of time. These things are happening, and these guys that are these false prophets, what they're doing is they're neglecting to I won't even say they're neglecting to put the pieces together. They're neglecting to warn their congregations, man. You know, which is ultimately going to land them in hot shit, man. It says, "Oh, my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle." You know, and that's the point. Hear the Lord's word, right? And these prophecies in this book, and make you ready to the battle so you can be able to fight, man. You know, we're supposed to be able to fight these things through the Spirit of the Lord, you know. But these dudes, they're not, they don't care about their congregation, man. They're not getting their congregation ready to the battle. Because for them, there's nothing to fight, you know. This is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. Isaiah 33 and 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times." You know? So how are you going to make yourself ready to the battle? By gaining this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and sound doctrine from the book of the Lord, man. You know, this is what he passed down to us so that way we can navigate, you know, the prophecies of the world. You know, like the scripture saying in Proverbs, man, a wise man seeth the evil. The wise man, you know, seeth, the wise man seeth the evil and hideth himself, man. You know, but the simple passeth on and are punished. And you guys are creating more and more simple people every day, man. And they're going to be punished. And you're going to be punished as well, man. You know? It says, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times. Meaning that when you understand these things and you have the Spirit of the Lord on you, you're going to understand what's happening. You know? So you don't bug out. You know? So you know how to move when these things happen. You know? Because the scriptures tell you how. But if you don't know that, then you won't do that. And you're going to be caught out here, man. It says, so be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. You know, it says strength of salvation, man. And what's the number one knowledge for strength of salvation, man? The name of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. You know, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, man. You know, the Most High in the name of the Son, Yahweh Shai, man. You know, if you don't understand that, then you won't have that strength of salvation, you know. And you're going to be out here, like the scriptures say, the men shall be as women, you know. Because women are hysterical. They don't know what the fuck to do. They panic all the fucking time. You know, this is what's going to happen to you know, the men in these congregations, man. You know, along with the niggas that don't give a damn about the Lord, you know. The niggas that don't know that they're Israelites. They're going to be on the same wavelength, you know. And that's embarrassing to call yourself an Israelite, but be on the same wavelength as a fucking nigga, you know. Sakari is on the same wavelength as a fucking nigga, man. And you can see it all in his spirit, you know. It's like it says, "O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon earth," you know. And what is a pilgrim? A pilgrim is a wayfarer or a wanderer, right? You know, a pilgrim doesn't have any bonds to materialistic things, man. You know, a pilgrim is ready to pick up and leave and travel at a moment's notice, man, because they understand that, okay, everything is temporal, you know. But guys like you guys in the IURC and in Sakari and ISUPK, you're being taught to be carnal minded, you know. You're being taught to you know, have bonds with materialistic things, you know. You guys who, you know, are taught to, you know, want to prosper in society and in that nature, you know. But if you are willing to go that far for materialistic things, the Lord is going to snatch these things away from you. And because you don't have the knowledge to understand why any of this is happening, you're going to bug out, man. A good example brought up last week is the movie Company Men. You know, with Ben Affleck, you know, the shipyard industry, they were losing all of this money, you know, because of their the things that they invested in went from appreciating assets and they depreciated all the way to damn near to zero, you know. So, these guys had to give up their lives, you know. These dudes had to give up their lives and downgrade everything, and they couldn't take it because they didn't understand what was happening, and they started killing themselves, man. You know, this is what's going to happen. When all of these things that great millstones, that the Lord, all these things that the Lord has been teaching us in the scriptures, you know, and starting with great millstone has been broken down to us, you know, this society is not ready for any of this because they don't see and they don't understand. They haven't been taught, you know. So your congregations are going to be right there, right along with the rest of society, man, and be destroyed and not understand, and they're going to flip out and bug out, man, you know. It says, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose. See, you're always supposed to have in the back of your mind that none of this means anything, because at any time, these things are going to be destroyed, man. You know, because you should understand prophecy, so you know that these things are going to be destroyed. So why am I basically worshiping these things? Why am I coveting these things? You know, I'm supposed to. The thing that you're supposed to covet are the gifts of the Lord, and the best gift that you're supposed to covet is prophesying. You know, not some fancy car, man. You know, or a seemingly, you know, a righteous family in the eyes of you know, your congregation or whatever, man. You know, it says, he that occupieth merchandise as he that hath no profit by it. See, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. You know, so yeah, you make your money in society, and you do enough to live. You know, but at the end of the day, all of this shit's gonna be destroyed. You know, you just do what you can for the time being, you know, to live in a society so you can do the work of the Lord, you know. And then when all hell breaks loose, you drop that shit. You drop this shit, you know. There's no use of hanging on to something that's meant to be destroyed, man. You know, it's already written in the heaven that these things are going to be destroyed, you know. It says, he that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. You know, so you know, you work as if, you know, you're not going to reap any profit, man. You're not going to reap any rewards for any of this. You know, all you're doing is maintaining yourself. That's what the Lord said. You know, give us our day by day our daily bread. You know, because that's all we need for survival is food, raiment. Humans. They need entertainment. They need socialization and things like that. You know, things to keep themselves occupied, I guess. You know, because we creep on the earth, so we have to move. You know, so but other than that, you don't need an overabundance of things, man. You know, and that's what these other Israelite camps are teaching, man. Instead of teaching the spirituality of the scriptures, you know. It says, he that occupieth as he hath no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he shall not dwell therein, he that soweth as if he should not reap. So also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they shall not get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. You know, so you shouldn't be worried about thinking about your child growing, raising your child 20, 30 years in society, man. You know I don't. You know, I have an 8-year-old right now, and I don't see him growing up to being my age, to being 30 years old. You know, we shouldn't be seeing. That's not the society that we should be looking towards. The society that we should be looking towards is the new heavens and the new earth. You know, and you can tell who's looking towards that new heavens and new earth by the doctrine that these people are teaching, man. You know, because their doctrine doesn't have an end game. You know, their doctrine doesn't have an end game. It's all fluff. You know, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has an end game, and his end is to make an end of this current society, man. To bring about the kingdom of heaven, man. His society. You know, to bring about high society. You know, it says, and therefore they that labor in vain, for a stranger shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods. See? For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods. So you labor to gather all of these things, but guess what? In the end, the world's going to end up looking like The Road. The movie The Road. The world's going to end up looking like the movie Book of Eli. You know? The world is going to be end up looking like, you know, the TV series Fallout, man. You know? These things are going to start happening, and everything that you worked so hard for is going to be taken away, man. You know? Everything that you worked so hard for is going to be taken away. Your life, your woman, your children, you know, your material things, your cars, your houses, whatever, man. Whatever it is you're covering in society is going to be taken away from you. You know, when shit hits the fan. It says, For in captivity, it says, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. You know, and basically that's all, that's everything I just said in a nutshell, man. You know, whole families are going to be destroyed, man. You know, and it says in famine they shall get children. So there's going to be a famine, you know. There's going to be a famine. That's another thing, you know. So, and like you know, we were going over earlier, you know, when there's a lack of money, there's a lack of food, you know. And when there's a lack of food, there's going to be a lack of good health, you know, which means diseases. And what do you get with diseases? You know, you get breakdowns of whole governments and societies, man. You know, like we've already lived through during the 19, man. You know, it says, and they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons. You know, so the more that you heap on yourself and become, covetous, you know, and the more you gather to yourself, it says, the more I will be angry with them for their sins, saith the Lord. You know, because you don't covet the gift of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. You covet the world, you know, and part of that covetousness is the mark, man. You know, the MOTB. That's how you're going to be able to gather these things to yourself, man. You know, is by getting the mark. So again, that is a sin. You know, it's not all sin itself, but it is a sin. You know, and that's the point. So these people are going to be destroyed. Everything that you see out here is going to be destroyed, man. You know, everything out here is going to be ravished and stolen and taken and you know, and broken. You know, it says, like, as a whore envieth a right, honest, and virtuous woman. You know, it's going to be just like that. And we all know the extreme envy, you know, that women have, especially if, you know, there's a woman that's actually doing according to the Lord's will, man. You know, it says, hell, they're virtuous. I mean, hell, they're jealous and envious of each other, you know, when they're being wicked. So just imagine, you know, so just imagine how angry the Lord is with these people, man. It says, so shall the righteousness hate iniquity when she decketh herself, and shall accuse her to her face. When he cometh, that shall defend him that diligently searcheth out every sin upon the earth. You know, so the Lord is going to accuse you to your face, man. You know, so so all of these things that they're building in this place, the Lord can't wait to destroy it, man. You know, and these prophecies are happening faster and faster. So the Lord he is long suffering, man, and that's what's happening right now. You know, and you dudes that are talking about Nate and Sakari and, you know, and Johanna, you dudes are the foxes, man. You know, in this place, that's the desert, man. This place is going to become a desert, you know, and you guys are the foxes, you know, trying to scrape up every soul that you can, man, you know, and be sly and slick about it. This is back in Ezekiel 13 and 4. It says, ye have not, it says, O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. Right? So you're not providing them with any protection. It says, they have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, the Lord saith, you know, and the Lord hath not sent them. And that's the point. You know, you dudes are very, very confident and arrogant about yourselves when it comes to breaking things down wrong. Oh, that ain't it. That ain't it. Yeah, the you know, and they'll come out blatantly and say that the mark is not, or MOTB is not the Karagma, man. You know, just because they want to spite Great Millstone, because they have some type of vendetta, you know, against Great Millstone, man. They're like that that whorish woman the scriptures spoke of, man, that hates a righteous and virtuous woman. You know, a righteous and virtuous woman is Great Millstone, and the whores are you other Israelite camps, man. You know, Because you dudes are stepping into Roman Catholicism. You know, you dudes are just being flat out rebellious and evil and deceitful and wicked, man. You know, but hate Great Millstone because they're actually keeping the doctrine the correct way. You know, it says, and they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word. You know, so you've been misleading these people for decades now, Nate and Johanna. You know, I think shit. I guess, you know, it ain't coming up on a decade with Sakari. You know, is it? It's 2024. No, he hasn't come. He hasn't been coming up on a deck because he wasn't. He hasn't been going off for you know, for 10 years. You know, when he was first starting with Sakari, he wasn't going off. You know, then slowly, gradually but surely, you know, he started going off, man. You know, and now these people, you have people that look at you and that watch you and that are taking everything that you say for face value, man. You know, not understanding that taking what you say for face value and not actually reading and researching, you know, is gonna get you know, their face valued in a missile, man. It says, have ye not seen a vain vision, and have ye not spoken a lying divination? Or as ye say, the Lord saith it, albeit I have not spoken. You know, so a lot of those breakdowns, bro, that you guys are teaching are not coming from the Lord, man. And you guys know this, man. You guys know by this point, you guys know that what you're doing is wrong. You know, by this point, you guys know that you guys are just being fucking assholes. You know, at this point, man, when I seen what's his face, the lemur, I had done, I guess, you know, you could have a Hebrew name, but the Lord can have a Hebrew name. That's crazy, you know. But when I seen him, he said the name. He said, "Oh, you saying Yahweh Bashem Yahushai? You're saying two people. I mean, you're saying the same person. Essentially, that's what you're saying. No, bro, that's clear. That's clear arrogancy, man. You know, that's clear bullshit." And he said it with a smile on his face, you know, because they understand that what they're doing is evil, man. You know, but they don't give a damn about they don't consider the end of their deeds because they don't think that their deeds are going to be punished. You know, going into Ecclesiastes, the 8th chapter. It's really quick. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. You know, so just because you haven't been punished yet, you know, these dudes think that just because they haven't been punished yet, that they're going to get away with it, man. You know, but what happens? You know, repeat offenders always get caught. You know, they always get caught. It's that lust of doing something wicked, man. You know, you're a thief and you just want to keep going back to the same place and thieving and stealing, man. You know, keep going back to the same place and stealing and thinking that you're not going to get caught. Oh, I didn't get caught this time. I'm going to go do it again. Oh, what's one more time? Oh, what's one more time? Until that one more time turns into the last time, man. You know, and that's not any account of you being you as the thief. You know, you're going to be put to death. You know, and that's exact. And these dudes they're not even considering that, man, which puts them in a very, very dangerous position, man. You know, and if anybody in their congregation that have a brain, I would get as far as the fuck away from these dudes as humanly possible, man. You know, because when their judgment comes, it's going to be swift and it's going to be heavy, man. You know, and it could affect their whole congregation. You know, I wouldn't want to be in this dude's way. You know, want to be in this charlatan's ways. You know, but you have your congregations under a spell, man. They're zombies. You know, they see you have the gay clothing. You know, you have the gold-plated armbands on, and you know you got your Super Saiyan breastplate on, and you got your Vegeta breastplate on. You know, your Saiyan armor and shit. You know, and they look at that like, oh, that's so majestic. That ain't shit, man. You know, because what you're wearing what you have on the outside does not resemble who you are on the inside, man. When you are on the inside of a fucking devil. It says, this is verse 8. It says, therefore thus saith the Lord power, because ye have spoken vanity and seen lies. Therefore, behold, I am against you, saith the Lord power. So the Lord is against you. You think that the Lord is on your side. Just like Esau, man. You know? Just like Esau. The Lord, he thinks that the Lord is on his side, man. The scripture says, thou thoughtest that I was one such as thyself. And that's what you niggas think, man. You think that the Lord is like y'all. That the Lord is on your side, but the Lord is going to prove very, very fast, without a doubt, that he's against you, man. And when he was already working on Sakari. I guess he letting IUIC linger for just a little bit longer. But he already working on Sakari, man. And I believe he's working on IUIC too, man. But IUIC, they have great poker faces, man. Nate got a great poker face. Niggas, man. Niggas have great poker faces, man. Niggas know how to bullshit, just like foxes in the desert. Foxes know how to bullshit. Foxes, they'll act like they're all cute and nice and shit, but then they get close to you and next thing you know, they're biting you, man. They're scratching you, a fox will bite out your throat, man. It says in verse 9, and mine hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity and divine lies. See, and they shall not be in the assembly of my people. So you divine vanity and you divine lies. You think you're going to be sitting in the assembly or the congregation of Israel when the kingdom of heaven comes? That doesn't make any sense. Like what Sakari says. Sakari basically saying that 2/3 of Israel is going to be amongst the elect, in the wilderness. But this scripture just said that, they will not be in the assembly. If you're teaching false doctrine and you're not teaching the true doctrine of the Lord, that makes you a 2/3, man. But I believe that Sakari knows that he is going off, and he's off as hell, and that, he came up with that doctrine to mitigate that fact. Came up with that doctrine to deceive himself, and so that way he won't have to think about it anymore. Oh yeah, the 2/3 going to be in the wilderness. They gonna have a chance. They got to keep all the laws and blah 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 bullshit. But that's all bullshit just to cover up the fact that he knows that he's going off, man, and he knows that he can't fix it. So he's trying to will himself into the elect. That's what that's about. He's trying to will himself into the elect instead of just swallowing his big ass ball of pride and repenting to the Lord, man. Because he knows that if he switches up his doctrine and he aligns with Great Millstone, he's going to lose his congregation. He's going to lose all that money that's coming in. He's going to lose the esteem of the world. He's going to lose everything that he has, man. He's not prepared to do that. So once you in too deep, you got to keep telling that lie, keep tweaking that lie, because once you tell one lie, you got to keep tweaking it to keep it up. You got to tell another lie to prove it, and you got to tell another lie to prove it, and you got to tell another lie to prove that lie. So when you think about all these things, these dudes are morally corrupt, and they love to be so. It says, neither shall they be written in the writing of the house of Israel. See, neither shall they enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. So they will not enter into the land of Israel at all, man. So these dudes aren't gonna make it to the kingdom. These niggas ain't making it to the kingdom, and I'll be damned if I'm in the wilderness with some niggas that still calling on the other white meat. I don't even want to say his name. Scriptures tell you that you should have no other God out of thy mouth. But I'll be damned if I'm in the wilderness with a nigga that's calling the Lord Yo Play Yogurt, or calling the Lord whatever fucking name you want to. That it doesn't make any sense, and that's confusion. Matter of fact, let me go into Ezekiel chapter 34. 37%. But yeah, man, you you dudes are not gonna make it, man. You know, and it's all because of that leaven. You know, what you're teaching. What you're teaching is not. What you are teaching um, is not meat for salvation, and you dudes understand that very well. And I believe because Jake ain't stupid, man. Jake isn't dumb. Jake know what the hell they be doing. You know, it's Ezekiel chapter 34, in verse 1. It says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord, power unto the shepherds. Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. See, they're not worrying about feeding the flock. They're not worrying about, nourishing the flock, man. They worry about nourishing themselves. You know, that it's about them. When we look at Sakari spirit, it's about him. Him. You know, it's about Alizar. You know, when you look at IUIC, you know what I'm saying? When you look at IUIC, it's all about Nate. You know, it's all about Nate, Nathaniel, man. You know, when you look at ISUPK, who is all about? It's all about Johanna. When you looked at IJC Comfy's camp, I forget the acronym, man. You look at Comfy's camp, it was all about him. You know, when you looked at GOCC, it was all about Rakat. You know, when you look at all of these groups, it's all about one singular person, man. You know, if it's all about one singular person, guess what? Then the congregation starts to idolize that person, and their salvation becomes contingent on that person, that's not right. You know, that's off as hell, man. That ain't right. You know, if the whole congregation is contingent on you, that means what happens if something happens to you, man? Who's gonna be teaching? You know, are they gonna carry on what you taught them, or are they just gonna start making shit up? You know, just like you do. You know, and if you're doing that, then they're gonna do that, man. You know, so when something happens to you guys, your congregations are gonna fall apart. You know, because you didn't give them strength, leg. You didn't give them any legs to stand on. You know, that's the difference between Great Millstone and you other Israelite camps, man. You know, our apostles and elders, it's not just about Apostle Dahar, man. It's not just about Apostle Rakar and Apostle Ramlab, and, you know, and elder bishops on down, man. You know, even in the individual Great Millstone camps, it's not just about the heads of these camps, man. You know, everything is a collective body. You know, we understand unity. We understand, brotherly love. We understand these things. You know, we understand the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and you dudes don't, because you don't even teach the name. So you guys don't have the spirit of prophets, man. You know. Matter of fact, it says, going back to Ezekiel 34 and 4, it says, in 3 it says, Ezekiel 34 and 2, it says, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel, prophesy and saying to them, Thus saith the Lord, power unto the shepherds. Woe to be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. You know, oh, and you always want to worry, oh, why Great Millstone always getting on these camps and blah 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 blah. Well, the scriptures tell you to prophesy against the false prophets that feed themselves, man. You know, what are we supposed to be doing? We're supposed to be doing this. You know, it says, should not the shepherds feed the flocks? Ye eat the fat, and ye clothe you with wool. Ye kill them that are fed, but ye feed not the flock. Right? You know, you don't feed the flock with any type of nourishment that's that's good for the body, man. You know, instead of feeding the flock whole foods, which would be the correct breakdowns and prophecies, you know, you feed them McDonald's and Church's chicken and shit, man. You know, you feed them Jack in the Box and fucking whatever fast food is out there, Taco Bell and Burger King and shit. You know, Whataburger. You feeding them all of this bullshit, GMO bullshit, man. You know, that's why you call it GMO babies, because you're eating things that aren't sufficient for you to survive, man, spiritually. It says, the disease have ye not strengthened, neither have ye healed that which was sick. You know, so the diseased have you not strengthened, and the diseased are the nation of Israel, man. You know, they're diseased in the mind, in the spirit, man. You know, so it says, the disease you have not strengthened. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're not strengthening your disease, guess what? You know, going back to Isaiah 33:6, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. So if you're not strengthening these people because you're not giving them the name, you're not giving them you know, the proper breakdowns, you're not teaching prophecy for them to look out for, you know, so that they can repent and get themselves right, you know, you're not doing any of that. So while you're not doing any of that, you know, you're not strengthening them, you know, and you're keeping them sick. Just like you might as well, you're no different from these corporations, man, like Coca-Cola and you know, these huge corporations that make, you know, all these food companies that make all of these prepackaged and processed foods, man. You know, you're no different from them, you know. And then you sit there and you gaslight your congregation, or you gaslight, you know, you gaslight the prophets that are trying to set your doctrine straight, you know. Oh, that ain't what it mean, or oh, they tripping, or oh, you believe they're a millstone, or you're a Looney Tune, and blah 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 blah. You know, same thing that the food companies are doing. You know, gaslighting the public, paying you know, paying off, you know, these food regulators and shit like that. You know, to allow the bullshit into these foods. That's exactly what you're doing, man. You know. You know, you're paying off your congregation, those of your congregation, to keep pushing that same bullshit, man. The shit that you can't even eat, that shit that don't even digest in your stomach, man. You know, shit that's painful when it come out the other end. You know, and these false breakdowns that you're teaching them is painful when it come out the other end, man. You know, it says, neither have ye healed that which was sick, neither have ye bound up that which was broken, neither have ye brought again that which was driven away, neither have ye sought that which was lost, but with force and cruelty have ye ruled them. You know, and the force and cruelty of ruling them is not teaching the proper doctrine, man. You know, that's force and cruelty. You know, that's inhumane. Because once you want your brother to reach salvation, you know, but you don't, because you don't teach the name. You know, you don't actually love the people in your congregation. You don't actually love your brethren, you know, because you're ruling them with love. You would teach them the proper doctrine, you know. But since you're not doing that, you're ruling them with force and cruelty, you know. It says, and they were scattered because there is no shepherd, and they became meat to all the beasts of the field when they were scattered, you know, because the other nations, you know, are jumping all over us, man, you know. And what you're doing, you still scattering them about. You know, you're not giving them any tools to fend for themselves, man. You know, these other nations are eating them up. You know, and it's even worse because how in the fucking world you understand that you're an Israelite, but you don't know these core principles and the oracles of the Most High, man. You know, so it's even you dudes got it even worse. You know, it says, my sheep wandered through all the mountains and upon every high hill. Yea, my flock was scattered upon all the face of the earth, and none did search or seek after them. You know, so you dudes ain't even trying to bring Israel together, man. You know, all of that bullshit you dudes be talking about. Oh, we got trying to bring Israel together and this, that, and the third, and we want to build communities and blah, all bullshit, man. You dudes don't want to bring Israel together, because if you did, you would be in one mind and one accord and teaching the same doctrine, man. You know, that you got from the old school, man. You know, scriptures say, continue in thy things which thou hast learned, man. You didn't learn any of this bullshit through the apostles and the elders in the original 7. I mean, well, the elders in the original 7. You know, Great Millstone has kept that which was taught to them, man. You know, which is sound doctrine. They've kept that doctrine, man, and they've kept the spirits of you know, their elders alive, man, through what they've been taught and that what they continue to teach, man. You know, which is the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. You know, that's the point. That is integrity. You know, that is sound. You know, that is what is called a good report. You know. It says, therefore ye shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. As I live, saith the Lord power, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherds search for the flock, but the shepherds fed themselves and fed not my flock. Right? Therefore, ye shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against the shepherds, and I'll require my flock at their hand. See? So he is against you dudes, man. You know, and he requires the flock at your hand. That means that you got to pay for this, you know? That means the flock is going to be scattered and slaughtered, you know, but you going to have to pay for it because you are the one that's pushing the bullshit, man, that corrupted their minds, you know. Here it is, you know, Jake figures out that they're Israelites and they have the veil ripped from their eyes, so to speak, right? You know, but then you put them right the fuck back to sleep, you know, and you keep doing that shit. You dudes are going to pay for this shit, man, you know. And it might be public. It might be fucking public. You know, just like Comfy. Just like Comfy. Comfy paid for everything he did, man. And it was public, you know. And the man died in prison, you know. He loved his freedom so much. He loved his freedom so much, man. He loved it, you know. He loved the limos and the girls and you know, and the concerts and all that other shit, all that shit that he was able to enjoy while he was walking free on the earth. But guess what the Lord did to him, man? The Lord took him out, you know? And the Lord's gonna take you dudes out too. It says back in verse 10, it says, and I will require my flock at their hand and cause them to cease from feeding the flock. Neither shall the shepherds feed themselves any more, for I will deliver my flock from their mouth, that they may not be meat for them. All right, so the Lord is going to take the flock out of your mouths, man. And so the Lord might break up those congregations, you know, and then whoever, you know, Lord, hopefully, you know, Lord willing, there are some men amongst that congregation which, you know, are the elect, you know, or not, you know, and the Lord can do what he wants to do. But, you know, he's gonna bring the men that are his out of that comatose state that you have them in, man. It says, for thus saith the Lord power, behold, I, even I, will both seek my sheep, search my sheep, and seek them out. As a shepherd seeketh out his flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered, so will I seek out my sheep and will deliver them out of all places where they have been scattered in the cloudy and dark day. You know, so then what this is essentially saying is that you can't deceive the elect, man. You know, at some point the Lord is going to take back his elect, you know, and he's going to put them exactly in a place through the Spirit, exactly where they need to be. So really, when you think about it, you dudes are doing this in vain, you know, because you're not corrupting the elect after all, you know, but you are doing this for a purpose, man, which is catching the undesirables in the 2/3, you know. So you're leading these people astray because the Lord doesn't want them to actually get the truth, you know. Matter of fact, just go really quick to Thessalonians, because it's a delusion that the Lord has given you, man. That's all this is, a delusion. The Lord said he will choose thy delusions. So he put the bug in your ear to say everything that you're saying, man. You know, no matter if it's fucking no matter if you're getting paid off or not, you know. There we go. Now I'm going to start at verse 11, 2 Thessalonians 2:11, to the point. It says, and for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion. Matter of fact, nope. I'm going to start at verse 10. It says, you know what? Yeah, I'm starting at 11. Yep, the point. And for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had no pleasure in righteousness, you know. So the Lord chose your delusions, man, so that way you wouldn't believe the truth, so that way you would believe all of that monkey shit that you're talking out of your mouth, man. You know, and the same with your congregation. The Lord put a delusion in their minds to believe everything that you're saying, you know. And the Lord put these things in their minds so that they can believe you, so that way they don't believe the truth, you know. Because you have something called undesirables, man. You have those that are actually here, that was created, that were destined to just live and die and not know the truth, man. You know, and that's the thing. They were just put here just to die, and that's scary. That is fearful, man. That you have people that are put on this earth just be fillers, you know, just to live here, just to just to exist and die, you know, not having any chance to reap salvation, you know. It says, yep, that'll be it. It's blocking. Yeah, you dudes hate Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's really what it is, man. You don't hate Apostle Har, you know. You hate the Lord. You think you hate Great Millstone, but you don't hate Great Millstone. You hate Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And it's evident every time you open your mouths in your videos, man. You know, you loathe the Most High. You know, that's why you have no problem making fun of the name. That's why you have no problem not teaching the name. You know, because you ultimately hate the Lord. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, and I'm going to start at verse 9. It says, then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways. So you guys are going to be in pitiful case because you abused the Lord's ways, man. You were given this knowledge, understanding to teach, you know, but you're abusing what the Lord has given you, and you're using it for your own personal gain, man. You know? It says, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. You know, so you're casting the Lord's ways away despitefully, man. You know, and a main example is the name, man. You guys openly cast away the name IUIC, you know, ISUPK, you know, Sakara. You just blatantly throw away the sound doctrine, you know. And you said out your own mouth to not put Yahweh on a pedestal, you know. So you dudes are going to be in pitiful case. It says, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. You know, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. Right, and your benefits is the ways of the world, man. The money, the fame, the so-called, the internet, the YouTube fame, you know. The money from from your congregations and shit. You know, but it says you're going to dwell in torments. You know, the scriptures say that the Lord is the king of terrors. You know, so everything that you can think of in your mind that the Lord could do to you, you know, he's going to do those things, man. And it's not going to be pretty. It says, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law, you know, now you look at the word loathe. The word loathe means a strong dislike or a hatred, you know. So you look at that, you know, you have a strong hatred for the Lord's law, man. You know, you guys are all about teaching the law, right? ISBK and Sakari and, you know, and IUIC. You guys are all about teaching the law, but you really loathe the Lord's law, you know, because one of the laws is the name. And matter of fact, I'll get that really quick in 1 John chapter 3. This is 1 John chapter 3, verse 23. It says, and this is his commandment, that we should believe on the name of his son, Yahushua, Mashiach, and love one another as he gave us commandment, you know. So the commandment is to believe on the name of the Lord, man, you know, and love one another. But if you don't believe in the name of the Lord, you don't love your brother, you know. If you don't teach the name of the Lord, you don't love your brother, man, you know. Because to teach the name of the Lord is to teach salvation. But you dudes don't believe in salvation. You don't believe that in the new heaven and new earth. You don't believe that the world is going to eventually come to an end, you know, which it is coming very, very rapidly, you know. And he that keepeth his commandments dwelleth in him, and he in him. See, if you would have kept the Lord's commandments, you know, especially this one, the Lord will dwell in you, and you wouldn't be going off teaching bullshit, you know. But that's how we know that you dudes don't have the spirit of the Lord, man, you know. It says, and hereby we know that he abideth in us by the spirit which he hath given us. And by the spirit which the Lord has given us, we know that he does not dwell in you dudes, you know, because if you did, you would teach the name. Because guess why you don't teach the name? What's the name? With the name comes prophecy, man. If you teaching the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and you teaching the correct breakdown of the Hebrew, right? You know, which Yahweh Shai means he is the deliverer, then people start asking you questions. Oh, because you know, they'll start asking you questions like, if the Lord's name means that he's the deliverer, you know, and you're teaching about him, then what are we supposed to be saved from? Then you got to answer that question, you know. What are you supposed to be saved from? Then you answer that and you say, okay, well, why do we have to be saved from it? Then you have to answer that question, you know. Then it becomes a rabbit hole of questions that you have to answer to your congregation in the right spirit, man, you know. And maybe because you don't understand the scriptures, you'll be found out to be a fraud, man, and you can't answer those questions, you know. So with the name comes hard questions, man, you know, that you should be able to answer and teach, you know. With the name comes prophecy. This is Revelation 19 and 11. It says, 19 and 10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is a spirit of prophecy, you know? So that's why you guys don't have the spirit of prophecy, man, because you don't have the name, you know? With the name comes prophecy and comes the spirit of the Lord, man. You know, that's how we know that you dudes are frauds, man. You guys are false prophets. You dudes don't give a fuck about the Lord, man. You don't give a damn about your congregation, and you, to be honest with you, you really don't care about yourselves, you know? Seemingly, you're selfish and greedy and, you know, and envious and covetous men, you know, by nature. But when you think about it, you guys really don't care about yourselves enough to actually want to reap salvation for you and your congregations, man. You know, this is back in 2nd Ezra chapter 9. Verse 11 says, and they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it, you know. So when it was time for you to repent, you know, like at the moment, now is the time for you to repent, man. You know, while you can still be corrected, while you're still being corrected, you know, while you're still being told the name, you know, where you're still being told prophecy, you know, now is the time for you to repent. But you're not understanding that, because all you see through your eyes is carnality, man. You know, you see the men telling you, you know, but you don't like those men, so you don't understand, man. You know, but that's fine, because guess what's going to happen? You know, it says the same must know it after death by pain. So you're gonna know these things. You're gonna know the name of the Lord. You're gonna know His name. You know, you're gonna know His prophecies. You're gonna know His name. You know. You're going to know sound doctrine, you know, because the Lord's going to beat it into you, man. You know, He's going to beat you into powder, you know. It says, and therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is and for whom the world is created, you know. So we have to worry about our salvations, man, at the end of the day, man, you know. We're not worried about you guys and how you're going to be destroyed. We just know that you will be. You know, we're trying to keep our asses out of the fire, man, so we don't get destroyed. You know, that's what this is about. You know, warning. You know, this is about warning. This is about making sure that we're covered as well in our families, man. We don't give a fuck about you guys. You know, especially because you don't give a fuck about Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But we're rebuking you, and we're strongly rebuking and reproving you, because, you know, this is defense of the gospel, man. Because we have other men that, you know, may not be as privy to the knowledge, that are learning, you know. So we're teaching them what not. We're teaching them what not to go for, man. You know, what not to internalize into their minds, man. You know, teaching them what's right and what's wrong. You dudes aren't doing that, man. You know, you dudes are really teaching them hate and favoritism. You know, you're teaching them to be liars. Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. And that's the whole point. We're supposed to give them warning. What are we warning them from? Like I said earlier, with the name, with Yahweh Shai comes questions, man. You know, oh, the breakdown of his name is the breakdown of his name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. It means He is the deliverer. What are we being delivered from? You know, why are we being delivered from it? You know, how many of these prophecies do we have to be delivered from? You know, what is it leading up to? You know, you have to answer all those questions, man. So you have to, you're supposed to be warning them of those things, man. You're supposed to be warning them of the Quran. You're supposed to be warning them of, you know, of World War III, of economic collapse, you know, of civil uprising and civil unrest and things of that nature, the pestilences, the famine that's coming, you know, that we're damn near already in, you know. You're supposed to be warning them of these things. It says, Slovakia. It says, therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. Verse 18, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but the blood will be I require at thine hand. And that's the point. You know, if we don't warn you, you know, if we don't warn the people of these things that are to come, to repent, you know, for the Lord destroys you, then the Lord's going to destroy us, man. You know, so we have to teach. You know, that you're supposed to be teaching the proper doctrine, but you guys don't give a fuck about the judgment of the Lord, man. You know, you don't care about the judgment of the Lord falling upon you, you know, but because you're not warning them, you're going to be destroyed, man. That blood is going to be on your hands. You know, that's what we're trying to prevent here. You know, blood being on our hands. This is why we teach, and this is why we rebuke and reprove and exhort, man. It says, yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. That is the point. We're supposed to trying to deliver our souls. You know, you dudes aren't trying to deliver your souls. You believe that you're already in the kingdom of heaven, you know. It says, again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness, and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall not die, because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require at thine hand. You know, so we have to warn, you know. It says, nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not, and he doth not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also thou hast delivered thy soul. You know, so we're supposed to be teaching teaching sound doctrine, man. That is the whole point of this, you know. It says, and the hand of the Lord was there upon me, and he said unto me, arise, go forth into the plain, and I will there talk with thee. Okay, that's it there. Give me a second. Check the battery. Got a little bit left. You know. So yeah, my battery's about to die. It's locking. You know, but you know, so I guess this concludes today's camp. You know, I give all praises called Allah Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Hakodash. Give honor to the apostles and elders, great Muslims as well, and salutations to the hopeful elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word and pushing the name of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai in truth and in sincerity. Shalom, Abba.